Hi, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Osprey Observer TV. I'm your host, as always, Johnny Torres, and with me, as always, Osprey Observer Editor-in-Chief, Marie Gilmore. Say hi, Marie.
Howdy, howdy.
We have a great show for you today, and very timely because, of course, this time of year, nothing is more synonymous with summer than water. And we're talking about pools, beaches, and the like. And so Marie has a great interview for you with the YMCA.
Hi, everybody. We've got a good show today. As usual, we try to bring you some information and educate you about something in the community. And this week, we're talking about water safety. And who better to do that than my friend Amanda with the YMCA. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the programs they have coming up this summer, and especially talking about the importance of water safety for kids. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Tell me a little bit about what the Y is doing this summer for water safety for kids.
Well, we are back to our regular programming. So we have a lot going on in aquatics. Our regular swim lesson program is back and running in our facilities across the county. We have our developmental swim team that's back and practicing private lessons, group lessons. We're back in it.
Awesome. And I know you've got a really special program coming up that even offers swim lessons for free for kids.
Yes, we have a great partnership with the Florida Blue Foundation, and they have committed to supporting our water safety and drowning prevention efforts. Through that partnership, it's actually with the Tampa Bay YMCA, area YMCAs. They have committed to funding our Safety Around Water program. So that program will actually run the week of August 3rd through August 6th. It's a 4-day program. And the Tampa YMCAs will be offering it. The YMCA of Suncoast will be offering the same program. And the YMCA of Greater St. Petersburg will also be offering the Safety Around Water program. So it's a full partnership of all the Bay Area YMCAs with the support of the Florida Blue Foundation. That program will work with beginners and non-swimmers ages 3 to 12. When they do register for all 4 days. And it will focus on basic water safety skills, like learning to backflow, learning to submerge comfortably. The focus of that program is really skills that could save a child's life if they were to get into a situation in or around the water in which they needed to get to safety as easily as possible. So teaching them to backflow and keep their face out of the water until help arrives, or teaching them to swim, float, swim, which is rolling from back to front. So being able to swim on their front, roll over on their back, and take a break, and then go back to their bellies to swim until they can reach safety. All really important life skills that our Safety Around Water program will focus on.
Okay, and how long are those classes for those 4 days?
The class times will vary based on the YMCA location. So we definitely recommend that if parents are interested, that they contact their local YMCA. Registration will be required in advance because the spots do fill up quickly. So times will vary. Here in the Tampa YMCAs, our lessons are 40 minutes in length. So the classes would be 40 minutes. They would attend all 4 days. And the program is free, absolutely free to YMCA members, non-members. The only thing we ask is that you register in advance.
Perfect. So people can get in touch with their local YMCA, register for that program, see what the times are convenient. That sounds like an amazing gift to the community for those 4 free days. Yeah.
Yes. And the goal really is to take away any of the barriers for, why parents may not be putting their children into swim lessons. So we want to make it as easy as possible to register. We want to make plenty of times available to work around parents' schedules. And then the program is free. So even the financial barrier we want to remove for that week so that we can enroll as many children as possible and help teach them some really important life skills.
Now, Amanda, you just mentioned, some of the barriers that parents face, especially when it comes to swimming lessons. As far as the parents' role in these classes, is it optional? Are they involved? Are they not involved in these classes? What's kind of the the commitment here, aside from, of course, bringing your kid to the Y?
Because the Safety Around Water program works with ages 3 to 12, parents aren't required to be in the water. They actually won't get into the water. The children will work directly with the swim instructor. So other than making sure that they arrive on time and or watching the lessons from the pool deck, that's really the only interaction that we need from the parents during the actual lesson itself. Otherwise, the swim instructors will kind of take lead on that and work with the kiddos. And then at the end of the lesson, get them right back to their parents.
And Amanda, tell us a little bit about your role with the Y. What is your position and how long have you been with the Y?
I am the Aquatics Executive for the Tampa YMCA. I've been with Tampa for almost 7 years. And really my role is kind of the oversight for aquatics across all of our 11 locations. So I work closely with our aquatic directors, our executive directors on our aquatic safety standards programs, really just making sure that we are hopefully delivering the best service that we can to the communities that we work in.
Wonderful. And obviously, as all facilities and all locations and all businesses have kind of adjusted protocols over this COVID-19 quarantine time, how has the aquatics at the Y adjusted to those changes?
Well, we definitely in opening back up our doors and getting programs back up and going, we have evaluated, like a lot of different organizations have, we're eager to get those services back out and available to the communities we serve. But really looking at what's the safest possible way we can do that. So we have made changes in our aquatic programs. We have removed pool furniture from our pool decks and made sure that pool furniture is spaced accordingly to promote social distancing, signage, asking those that are utilizing our pool decks not to move furniture. So we want to make sure that we're not allowing people to group. So even if we have parents on the pool deck during swim lessons watching, they're doing so from properly spaced pool furniture to make sure that we don't have those groups congregating. Our swim lessons, we make sure that the groups are spread out and that the classes aren't in close proximity to each other. Our swim instructors are wearing face shields. So when they take a child off the wall to work with them one-on-one, the swim instructor does have a barrier on while doing that. Whether it be members coming into lap swim, our swim team, swim lessons, any equipment that's being used by a participant is disinfected before it's put back into population for another participant to use. So definitely really looking at all the different aspects of those programs and trying to make sure that those safety measures are in place so that members and participants feel comfortable participating in those programs.
Now, Amanda, here in Florida, of course, this is a dire need, right, to have these swim lessons available to the community. What have you seen in terms of numbers? Are we on an uptrend, a downtrend? We hear these cases, of accidental drownings every year, and I bring that up because I want people to take advantage of this program. We want to prevent, those types of things from happening, and obviously that's part of the reason why you guys are doing this program.
Yes, so drowning prevention is a major strategic initiative of the YMCA. It has been for many, many years, but even more so in our current situation with the population of children being out of school for as long as they have, the access to water that you naturally have living in our area. We have unfortunately seen drownings, they're on the uptick. So they have increased during these last few months. So it only makes our drowning prevention efforts even more important than they already were to make sure that we're encouraging families to take advantage of programs like our Safety Around Water program to get their children enrolled into swim lessons. We often will share with parents that it's found that the risk of drowning is reduced by 88% when your child participates in formal swim lessons. It really is a life skill. So once they learn those skills, it will stay with them their entire life. It's definitely an investment. in their health and well-being, and something that we can't encourage parents enough to participate in.
Well, thank you so much, Amanda, for bringing that program to the community and for letting us know a little bit more about it. We'll make sure we put links on how people can get more information and get involved and get registered at their local Y. I think, Jonathan, we'll have to try to sign up at the Sperlino Y, because it sounds like your daughter needs those 4 days of lessons. But very, very important when we live in Florida. I think it's a responsibility we as parents have to give our children at least the most amount of water safety and training that we can, just because we are surrounded by water. But thank you so much for what you do at the Y. And we are great partners of the Y. We appreciate everything you do. And we appreciate that information you gave us today.
Great. And thank you so much for having me on and help and support these efforts. We greatly appreciate you guys also.
Absolutely. Anytime. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks again to Amanda Walker and the Greater YMCA. Make sure that you hit up those classes. I'm going to be registering as soon as we're done with today's episode. It's just incredibly valuable, what the YMCA brings to the community, especially when they do programs like this. So make sure you take them up on it. Marie, there's a lot going on right now. It's summertime in the community. What's going on at the Osprey Observer?
There's a lot. We have some really fun stories coming up in the upcoming edition, but one really fun event is very near and dear to my heart is Honor Flight of West Central Florida that takes the World War II veterans up to DC for a one-day trip. Of course, with quarantine and coronavirus, the trip for this spring was canceled, but I was able to go 6 times as a guardian for World War II vets from the ages of 86 to 95 years old and spend the day with them over a period of 3 years, and many, many members of the community came along with me as guardians. It was one of the most special activities that I've ever been a part of. Well, right now, Mission Barbecue, they have their special recyclable cups they sell, and you can refill them all month long. This month, they're benefiting Honor Flight, and $2 from every cup sold will go directly to Honor Flight to help benefit those veterans and get them on a trip of a lifetime. Hopefully next year when airports open back up and the communities open back up, and then we can get them up to DC. Very, very special. So that's one really fun story that we did. And well done to Mission Barbecue. The second story we're working on is, depending on which recycling company you have, you may not be getting recycling pickup right now because of a lack and shortage of drivers. Waste Connections is only picking up recycling now every other Thursday. And there are some options. There are some collectible recycling centers in the community, or you just put it in your trash. So we've been programmed all these years to save our recycling in those blue bins and everything. But for right now, you can check the website to see if your area is affected and just collect the recycling every 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, you talk about the honor flights, and I've actually had the opportunity to be at the arrivals when they get back from these trips, and it is unbelievable. If you ever get to be a part of this program in any way, I highly recommend it for some of our veterans. This is undoubtedly the trip of a lifetime. Some of them have never been to Washington, D.C. and seen these amazing monuments that are honoring them. And so definitely look up more information on honor flights because it's truly something that we need to continue to support in the community. For more information on that and everything happening in the community, make sure you check ospreyobserver.com for the latest news and information. In the meantime, we will be back for another episode next week. Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of Marie Gilmore, Editor-in-Chief of the Osprey Observer, I'm Johnny Torres for Osprey Observer TV. See ya.